This is Author Janice E. Sullivan. And, well, I just want to have a heart to heart if we could tonight. So many people have talked to me about finding your passion. What does that mean? Finding your passion. Find your passion, they say, and you'll live life to the fullest. Every day will be blissful, and every night will be full of success. Well, what if your passion is something more than yourself? What if your passion is for society and a group of people that you once were a part of? What if it was about the forgotten children, the parents who don't understand how every interaction affects the decisions that will later be made? What if it was about a society who's become so in a rush that they don't even take time to instill the true things that will create a good human being? That's where my passion is. My passion is for the people who, and the children, who are just as I was, just wanting direction, needing a hug, wanting to be loved, instead of bustled off or rushed off to school each day as if it was a daycare. Never understanding the importance and the true effects that education could have on my life. There's a few things that are at fault. One is my parents could not give me what they didn't have, so they could only teach me what they knew. And the other is where my passion lies, and that's in seeing the social distribution of welfare addressed. I know your first thing is, oh my God, here comes some Republican or someone who doesn't understand where we are, how we got there. But I'm not. I've been there. I've lived it. And I'm none the better for it. And if you think about it, the only reason even the mention of restructuring welfare would bother you is if you're comfortable where you are. And that's a dangerous place to be. For me, it was crucial, life altering. I didn't understand how my parents, grandparent, I was raised by my grandmother, partly, receiving compensation monthly for me, to benefit me, to keep a roof over my head, to feed me, make sure I was in good health, would remove the responsibility that comes along with ensuring that while I was receiving the standard care of living, that she did her part to make sure I understood how the other part would later affect my life. So what I'm proposing may seem a little strong, and it may brush a few folks the wrong way. But take it from a girl who's lived on the streets, had her fill of beans and rice, did a stint in foster care, dropped out in the 11th grade, and realized that she was truly talented and had someone, anyone, been held accountable for my education, for the character building that it takes to understand the importance of being a active part of society. How life could have been different. Now, let me just correct all you naysayers. I'm not complaining about the life I led. I'm not even upset about it. As a matter of fact, I embrace it because it made me who I am. But being who you are can sometimes mean that instead of starting out at the 50-yard line, you start out at the 20-yard line. Well, anyway, enough of that. What I'd like to see happen, and I need 2 million of you, 2 million of you to agree with me, to sign a petition, to rewrite the laws of a social system that causes more harm than good. The first thing I'd like this law to consist of is if you're an active participant in the welfare system and you have a child who's under the age of 18 receiving services, that it should be mandated, something similar to unemployment, that you qualify each month. And every child who receives a stipend in welfare has to meet a certain qualification in school. You can't be a dropout. You can't go 4 days out of the month. And you most certainly can't just show up and cause problems. I don't think that we as a society should pay for the derelicts we later have to go back and arrest. I think if we place stipulations on the funds that are given for each child, that the parent will have to become more active in ensuring that their child not only shows up, but participates and gets an education. Secondly, we want to rebuild character and self-worth. So if you're receiving assistance as an adult, you should only contribute to the society that's taking care of you in your time of need. I think the money could recirculate, most definitely recirculate in a government right now that's struggling to maintain budgets. If we take the same money and circulate it within the communities from which it's given, let's say I'm a recipient of social services, and my job, Monday through Friday, is to be a bus monitor from 8 to 11, and then from 3 to 5. I contribute to making sure that our children get home safely and that there is no trouble on the bus in regards to making sure that the bus driver has a better opportunity to drive. I'm being paid a stipend, and I'm contributing back to an overrun government. Or possibly my job is to just grade papers, to remove a burden off an already overstressed teacher who has now more time to plan a better case study or lesson plan, shall I say, to ensure that our children are amongst the most highly educated. Or how about a cross guard? More children now are being bullied and beat up after school than ever before. If we could put a cross guard within 2 miles of the school on every corner to make sure that our children got home and to school safely, what benefit would that be? And again, we're only using the same money that the government's already spending. Not only would it encourage me as a person and give me a self-worth for contributing, but it would also allow our system to better utilize the funds that it's steadily giving out. It would reduce the burden off the police force because, of course, truancy would go down. If truancy goes down, then of course you alleviate the crime. Less children to get in mischief. And it just kind of rolls into the community because you know how you now have more children graduating, more parents who are active in doing constructive things within the community. And so it creates a different view in the community and becomes a more successful environment than a self-destructive one. Those are just a few of the things that I'd like to see happen. So when someone says to me, find your passion, and then you'll find your way in life, I'd like to think that getting a law placed that saves the lives of millions and contributing to a society that later creates positive, sound, established citizens. I'd like that to be my legacy. And I'd like you to think about it and join my mission to see our communities become like they once were, where our children could play till the lights came on. You could knock on the neighbor's door and get an egg or a cup of milk. And our children were graduating in droves rather than dropping out by the handfuls. Help me along this journey. My story isn't much different from the people I talk about. In fact, you can read my memoir. Cucumbers Have Thorns and Snakes Love Strawberries. Available on the Nook, Amazon, and Barnes & Nobles, and at Barnes & Noble. But that's not why I'm here. Because it's not about me. Again, it's about the mission and the passion and a purpose. Please sign below and pass this video on to everyone you know. Because until we're ready to help make a change, there can never be one. Saving one child could change the generation of many. This is Author Janice E. Sullivan, and I just thought that I'd let you hear my thoughts, and hopefully we'd find a mutual place where we could work and fulfill our passion to see our communities and our society become as great and as proud as they once were. Send me an email. Let me know what you think. Or better yet, give me some ideas to help make sure that our community is not only flourishing, but it also has the many aspects and views of the people who could live in it. This is Author Janice E. Sullivan, and as always, I'll see you at the next stop. Good night.